will let us struggle until we realize we can't do it. And so guess what? Jesus has compassion on them, and he starts to go to them. But guess what? Jesus doesn't go in a boat. He doesn't go swimming. Jesus is God. He walks on the water. He walked on the water. It was a miracle. And the guys on the boat, they're looking out and they're fighting this wind, and it's dark and it's scary because it's about 3 o'clock in the morning. And they look out and they see Jesus and they're like, ah, it's a ghost. It's a ghost. They don't realize who he is. But one of the disciples is looking really close. He's like, I think that's Jesus. And so he yells, Jesus, is that you? Now this disciple was named Peter. Jesus, is that you? And Jesus tells them, yes, it's me. Well, Peter does something amazing. Now Peter had been hanging out with Jesus. He'd been looking at him doing all the miracles. And so he goes to Jesus, Jesus, if it's really you, let me walk on the water. Wow. And so he got out of the boat. Can you imagine? The wind is blowing really crazy. The waves are huge. And you're in the middle of the ocean. Picture being in the middle of the ocean. And he gets out 1 foot. Oh, I'm doing it. And he's looking at Jesus. I'm doing it. I'm doing it. And he's keeping his eyes on Jesus. And he's walking on the water. And he's like, wow, cool, look at me. I'm walking on the water. Well, all of a sudden, he looks over. And instead of keeping his eyes on Jesus, he looks at the big wave and he goes, oh no, look at that wave. And the minute he takes his eyes off Jesus, he starts to sink. And he's drowning. And he goes, Jesus, help me. And what do you think Jesus does? He helps him. And so Jesus comes over, he grabs Peter by the arm, and he picks him up, and he takes him over and he puts him back on the boat. And he tells Peter, why did you doubt? Why did you take your eyes off me? You were doing fine when you kept your eyes on me. The minute you looked at the waves is when you started to sink. And guess what? All of the people on the boat, they finally got it. Remember, they didn't get it last time. This time they got it. And they looked at him and said, wow, you really are the Son of God. And they understood. But a lot of people will look at the story and they'll think, wow, Peter was kind of a loser. He kind of lost that test because he took his eyes off Jesus and he sunk. And so sometimes people read that story and they think Peter failed. But guess what? Peter didn't fail. Who failed? The people that stayed in the boat. 11 people didn't trust. 11 people stayed where it was safe. I'm safe in the boat. And they were the ones that failed. Peter is the one that took that leap of faith. And Jesus is saying, come to me, even if it looks scary. Come to me and step out in faith. So Peter really was the hero of that story that day. Because even though he kind of lost it for a little bit, he at least trusted enough to get out of the boat. And so Jesus is looking at us and he's saying, I want people who are going to get out of the boat. Because sometimes we want to stay where it's safe. Oh, I want to stay where it's safe. But Jesus is like, you know what? You want to walk on water? You want to do miracles in my name? You got to get out of the boat. So, today I'm going to ask you, who wants to get out of the boat? Because do you want to stay where it's safe?
No.
Out of the water. Come out of the boat. Take that leap of faith.
Yay!
Look at that. She's walking out of water. Are you ready to walk on water? Come on. Get close to Jesus. Ah, look at that.